Alright, this is Web Knight. Welcome back to another mod update. And this time it's OPTRE Expansion. And as you can see, I am a hunter. Simple as. I just want to showcase what has been added with this recent update. I would not call it that big, but like it makes significant changes to what's there. But it doesn't add any new enemy types. Well, broods, drones, jackals, etc. You get the point. That's what I wanted to clarify, right? It's there. It's improving base things that were already existing. Well, first and foremost, Grunts and Hunters are playable right now, but I'm gonna save it for the later in the video. Right now, let's go through changes for the existing AI. First and foremost, all of the AI now, at least received a different posture for some of the weapons, as well as some new weapons were added. Let me see if I can find one. Yeah, there you go, a needler. It doesn't have needles, unfortunately, but I'm using OPTRE-based things, and I wasn't able to make so the needles appear. But I don't think that's such a big problem. Another thing is that AI now respects the formations, and they will always try to keep that formation no matter what. So for example, let's spawn a group of infantry somewhere here, for example. As you can see, they split into fire teams when grouped and try to work together. And once the fight is over, they will try to get back to their original formation, which is lined by default. You can change that if you want. You can make them go into a column, right? So yeah, the main changes to their AI, as I've said, they can now garrison buildings properly in objects, so you can place them, disable their path, and they'll be working like a standing turret. They keep their formation and tries to always to keep it no matter what, as long as they're not in combat. They split into fire teams, so each group is divided by 2, and therefore, for example, we have 6 guys. That means that those 3 are its own fire team, and this one is another fire team, so they will try to flank, and they basically have 2 squad leaders. If that's necessary for some of the functions that are being called, as well as their overall coordination, because the entire coordination is now made through squad leaders. So like squad leaders give orders to the AI, and then AI executes it pretty much. Oh, sorry. Ungoi, or grunts. First and foremost, oh, another thing I forgot to mention is now we have different models for grunts and hunters, thanks to Marberus. He was willing to do infinite, Halo Infinite style grunts, so we have those guys now.
Ready. Standing by. Ready.
There you go. They look really cute. Really good. I really like his work, so I'm glad to work with him. For the grunts use the same behavior as Sanghili's now. They respect the formation. As you can see here, after engaging with someone, for example, let's place one guy. And they return back to the formation. They don't deal to so I disabled the heavy grunt damage if he's hitting allies, because otherwise they would be probably killing each other most of the time. Therefore it is disabled to prevent any problems with the AI. And hunters, as I said, we have now infinite style hunters made by Mar. They're a little more chunkier than the default version, and they have the same behavior tree. You can change the way how defamation, etc, 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 and
Standing by.
so yeah. There you go. Fighting against AI became much more interesting. I mean, it wasn't that bad previously, but I find that it's more interesting when AI is more responsive. Therefore, they became a little bit more. I wanted to say CPU friendly, but that's not true. What I'm saying is I optimized a lot of code in order for them to work efficient, but as I said, I cannot include everything, and I cannot optimize it to like 100%. This is still scripted AI. So, but again, as I say, it will be much better than previously. I also spent some time on Sparatn AI, so
Awaiting orders.
look at those guys.
Standing by.
They work a little bit differently from Elite AI, because at the end of the day, those are humans, therefore they still would need to behave differently. Their default formation is... what is it? The fucking hexagon, or how the fuck is it called? I don't remember. But yeah, since they're split in like 4... they usually being spawned by 4 units. And let me show you a firefight between Spartans and Covenant. Let's spawn, for example, a mixed fire team miner, and then sentry miner, and maybe one major. There you go. Let's see it. Oh, I think they... Looks like Spartans might win. You see, as they're like slowly pushing towards the target, if they do not have a task to defend, or and if their path is still enabled. And as I said, if they don't have a attack order, they will try to keep the same position as they are right now, because previously they can like rat off far away, and I don't think I want that. That's the machine gunner. He stayed behind and started to get the target, as all the other guys are trying to get... Oh, there you go. And now they should...
Looks like we're done. For the moment.
Yep. And now they will try to regroup again. As I said, you can control them properly, right? After they exited from the fight. So I made it more Zeus friendly. So, yeah, like, again, I don't know what to show you, because it would be just AI fighting against each other, or me just fighting against AI. So I encourage you to launch the editor and try it for yourself. I hope that you like it. Let's get back to the playable stuff. So I wanted to make Hunters and Grunts playable for a long time, but didn't have time and will. But finally, I figured it out, and behold, a playable Hunter. you can see the hunter control scheme on the right by pressing H. If you have advanced hints enabled, it will give you that prompt once you start playing as a hunter. And it's always will be there. You can like hide it or unhide it by pressing H. Or a different keybind if you set it to something different. Hunters are pretty simple, but at the same time they have some depth in their gameplay. You need to understand, this is not a Dreadnought from 40k or Imperial Knight. This is still a relatively small unit in a Halo universe, while being a mini-boss pretty much. Still, you can be killed pretty easily by a group of Spartans or AT or a tank, etc, etc. You get the point. So, to fire your regular weapon, you can shoot plasma weaponry. I know this is not lore friendly, quote unquote, right? But I decided to leave it there if you want your hunter to be able to shoot while running. And by pressing X or crouching, I can go into defensive state, where I hide some parts of my body behind the shield, and therefore it's reducing the damage that I'm taking, as well as I can now use the field weapon. There you go. So, if you don't want hunters to have plasma and only be able to shoot from defensive state, you can disable that in advanced settings, add-on settings, sorry. There you go. You can also, hunters can also go into rage mode now by themselves, instead of waiting for another hunter to die in front of them. You can press Q, and it changes your weaponry. You get it. It lasts for 60 seconds, and then you can activate rage after 5 minutes. It doesn't matter if you die or not, this ability can only be used once in 5 minutes. So yeah, if you don't want that, you can also disable that for your players, and in that case, they will be working in a similar way to regular hunters, right? The AI version. And by that, I mean that they would need to wait until their companion will die, and it will make them rage. So yeah, as I've said, we did some multiplayer testing with them. I posted a bunch of clips in my Discord. But they are serving as support units first and foremost, but can be great in assault, so use them with caution. And again, you have all the tools to change some parts of his behavior to your needs. The health is also defined in add-on settings, and it's the same health as one they used by AI. You can also enable the HP buff, so that the raging ability works also as a healing. If you want to have that or not, you can disable it. But let's get to Playable Grunts, because they have many more things that I want to show you. So it takes about like 5 seconds for the system to initialize when you launch the game, but there you go. So they have more keybinds, and there's your usual stuff like shooting, reloading, dodge, which represents basically leaning from original game, grenade, oh damn, downtown. You can flee, which allows you to shoot and then immediately flee away from the scene, like that. So yeah. And last but not least, you can do a suicide charge. And depending what grunt are you playing, obviously your weapons are changing. Again, this is scripted weaponry, therefore their inventory is completely disabled and their weapon depends on the class. So I suggest to give more slots for players to have more different grunts, right? Well, we're gonna go to a Sapa grunt, which can do this. Well, once he starts to do the kamikaze run. You can press X again while playing as a separate grunt to explode, or wait 5 seconds until this thing will explode by itself. There is many possibilities that are open with it. Again, I highly encourage you to go into my Discord and watch some of the clips that I took from my boys, because that was something. That was really something. I really enjoyed that up. It was like chaotic, but like good chaotic. The most important thing that I received by playing is that Hunters wanted to do something with the grunts, and I'm like, what can I do about it? And so Scorch told me that, like, it would be cool if you could, like, launch grunts, right? Or do something like that. Therefore, behold, you can now... and that opens a possibility of one grunt going into suicide mode, right? And Hunter just, like, can kick him towards the enemy. So for example, let me force, for example, a suicide script on a grunt and send him towards the targets. So let's get here. Let's find that script. I had it somewhere. Yep, there you go. Oh, I missed! No, I missed! Oh shit! I missed. That can happen. You need to understand you cannot hit someone with melee if they're behind you, and if the grunt is too close, your melee will not also activate on him. But there you go. Something like that. I also, for some reason, hit this Spectre. Anyway. Oh, another thing that I completely forgot to talk about is Hunters and grunts not being able to get inside of the vehicles. As you understand, for AI it's not such a big of a problem because you can just, you know, create a visibility of like units deploying from a Spirit, for example. Like it just flies up to a point, you just spawn a bunch of infantry in there, and that's it. But for players, I needed to do something about it, and therefore I spent some time and optimized so custom skeletons, especially grunts, can use most of the vehicles from the Covenant roster. You can see I can use the Ghost, I can use the Spectre, all of them. There is some places that you cannot get in, like for example the passenger gunner lift, because you technically don't have a weapon, therefore it will not allow you. But you can use the Spectre, I think it's this one? Yeah, like a transport Spectre. It can carry grunts, they can board from behind in there. Oh, there you go, yep. Spirit, for some reason, I still do not know why, and you need to, I'll put it in the description, you cannot go into a Spirit by yourself as a player, but Zeus can teleport you, so it technically works. I don't have Zeus in hands, but like, yeah, you can teleport players in there. For AI, it works fine, right? You can just drag and drop him there. And it works. It works for both Hunters as well as... Oh, Hunter for some reason cannot go. Alright, I'll investigate that. I'll see. But yeah, you can put grunts into a Spirit. You can put them into a tank, right, if it's necessary. And they can drive, they can shoot, right? They perfectly work. That's another thing, right? You will see stuff like that, because I don't have original sources for the vehicles, therefore I wasn't able to align them properly. I'll try again after this update will be released, right? But like, I just can't do everything at once. I'm like, I'm too tired of working on this update. To be honest, it took me so much more than I expected, but yeah. They can go in some, again, as I said, most of the vehicle, not all of them. It will not look pretty good, but at the same time, this is the best that I was able to come up with. So yeah, that pretty much it. I wanted to make this video short, but looks like it isn't. Well, anyway, I hope you will like the new update. Again, the work is not stopping on OPTRE Expansion because we're planning to do at least jackals, like a custom AI and animations for a jackal, maybe some new models and stuff like that. So yeah, and there'll be probably bug fixes released after this update because I tested pretty much everything, but you know how it is. So yeah, I hope you will like it, and I'll see you next one.